Canaan City FM 99.5 Calabar.
Nigeria na him be oga for the wahala of court of punani for the world wey oyibo man dey call female genital mutilation FGM. Mama pale plus everybody dem make I tell una say if you dey do this kind bad thing na im be say una dey trespass on top our girl pikin plus women dem right to. This kind bad thing sef dey make women no dey fit born pikin, dey make omoyan no dey sweet for dem, even sef fit cause make woman kpai. Make una no forget say na ogbonge lie say woman pikin wey dem no cut her punani go dey follow man up and down, and make una remember say woman wey wan follow man go dey follow am wella. Country people, time don reach o wey dis kind yamayama thing must stop. Oya, make we gather and join body come pursue dis kind thing comot for we area patapata. Make we see say our girls and women dey safe papamba for dis court wey oyibo man dey call female genital mutilation. Unto say injury to one woman na injury to we society o. This message na from Onelife Initiative for Human Development.
Canaan City FM 99.5 Calabar.
Alright, good afternoon to you. 9 past the hour of 2 o'clock. This is Radio Nigeria, Canaan City FM, Calabar. Good to have you right there. And now, like we told you earlier, we're going to be having an exclusive program, a continuation of a program. We told you we've been talking about this for a period of time. And we're going to be bringing you a talk on the female genital mutilation or female genital cutting, as the case may be now. And today we're having some great people to talk about this session of it this afternoon. And of course, do remember that you are a part of this conversation for today. Of course, I've gotten some text messages already coming in as this program has been promoted. We sincerely apologize for starting up a bit late. But welcome to the show to all of you right there. I am Prince Alobi, and right here I do have a medical practitioner that's going to be talking about this, Dr. Nchewi Elemi Ani. She is a consultant radiologist from the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, and of course also the president of the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria in Cross River State Chapter. All right, good afternoon to you, madam. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Good afternoon, listeners.
You're a big fish. We've been looking for you forever.
Really? My apologies.
All right, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, it's great to even have a woman talk about this because it actually has a lot to do with women. And I think it's better to have a woman talk about this because it's not just the talk, it's also practical. So let's look at this. Now, people have been talking about the female genital mutilation. There are different terms to it. What do you term that FGM, female genital mutilation?
Oh, okay, female genital mutilation initially was termed female circumcision, and I'm sure it was called that because in most society it was usually done like circumcision for the male child in infancy, or when the girl child is under the age of 1. But by definition, female genital mutilation actually means all forms of intentional harm done to the female reproductive tract, all forms of it that are not due to medical reasons. For instance, the person is not sick, there's no mass there, there's no tumor there affecting the female genital tract, and you just go there and incise it or put a knife on it. That's the simplest or commonest definition for female genital mutilation. And currently there are 4 major types of female genital mutilation, and the commonest that is being done is clitoridectomy. What that means is either a partial removal of the clitoris or total removal of the clitoris. And then it could be modified. When it's modified, it takes us to the second type of female genital mutilation, which is the excision type. They take out the clitoris. The clitoris is actually that raised platform or raised mold on the external genitalia of a female, and that is actually the most sensitive part, like the rectal tissue for the female. So they take that one out, and they take the surrounding area, the immediate surrounding area to the clitoris, actually the labia minora. So they take out that part, that is the excision form, the second form, and then sometimes they go ahead to take out the majora, which is the mound on either side of it. So they take out all of that. That's excision type 2. And then the type 3 is the form where they reduce the vaginal opening. It's called the infundibulation. They reduce the vaginal opening, and that one is set to discourage promiscuity. So they reduce the opening to less than 1 to 2 cm, depending on the culture or the society where that is done. And then for that particular type, in those cultures, you need to take the girl child back to the traditional circumciser to open up
when
it's time for her to commence sexual intercourse, or when it's time to give her out in marriage. So for that particular, is deeply enshrined in tradition. And then the fourth type is the one that is, various types, ranging from piercing to putting a padlock there to,
What? Padlock?
Yeah. They put a padlock, they put the padlock passes through one lip of the minora or the majora to the other side.
Doctor, you mean
a life padlock?
Physical padlock?
Life padlock. The one you use the padlock in your small cupboard.
Lord have mercy.
Through there. And then the key is given to the father. So on
how long does this particular one? How long does this padlock
the padlock
last?
will be there until your husband comes to pay the bride price, and then he takes the padlock from your dad.
Well, it's not something I should be laughing about, but it's funny because I'm trying to play the picture right now. What's going to look like? What exactly it looks like? But anyways, well, which one is actually most practiced around this?
Clitoridectomy. They just take out the tip of the clitoris, which is the sensitive tissue. They take it out. So for such people, they come down with reduced libido. They're not able to enjoy sexual intercourse, and then low self-esteem and all that. So that's the commonest practice in our region.
Okay, now let's come back to our region. We want to focus on the South, or let's precisely look at Calabar or Cross River State. I mean, they say it's a culture that has been practiced. In fact, I had to go to the street, and I had to take some voices of some people, and they said in their community they still practice it up till date. Especially those who are actually getting married at a period of time. If you don't pass through that process, you won't get married. Like somebody told me something yesterday about something called Money in Kim. That the Money in Kim process, you have to pass through this female circumcision before the traditional marriage is done. Now, is there any I've definitely talked to a legal practitioner about this, and he will tell us the legal implication of this. But is there any way the society of today have tried to stop this practice, especially traditionally?
Okay. Female genital mutilation is classified amongst various forms of violence done to the girl child and done to women, it's not under sexual violence, under physical violence. And then female genital mutilation in its right, it's being captured in the 2015 Violation Act Against Persons. It's captured in 2015. Initially, the penalty used to be 7,000 naira or 14 days in prison, but currently I think it's up to 200,000 naira, and then 7 years in prison. You imprison either the person who called you to come and do it, or the person who was caught doing in the act. So that's currently what is being done. I don't know if the law has been domesticated. Yeah,
that's the part that we actually we would like to hear the lawyer to tell us this.
You talk about the Money Kim. I don't know much about the Money Kim tradition, but let's not go far. In Calabar here, medical women, we did an outreach last year. We did a case study in the 8 Miles region. It is still being practiced here, but the funny thing is that it is done silently. So the issue of violence is it's perpetuated in silence, and it's actually done on day 8.
The one done here in Calabar, is it basically for the adults or for the younger ones?
That's what I'm trying to explain. The one done in Calabar, from our we carried out the questionnaires, went into the market to gather this particular data. You found out that currently it's done on day 8. Just as the same day you're circumcising the male child, they circumcise the female child, and they pierce the ear on the same day. So while the child is crying, they tell it's because of the ear. You don't even know that something has gone down. They've taken out the clitoris or the labia majora down there. So it's done on day 8. But for other traditions, it's done at puberty, when the child is the young girl is attaining puberty, about to go into womanhood. That's when it's done. Like in the Biase region, you know, the last time we went to Biase, we were told that there are few persons still practice female genital mutilation, and it's done. If you see, like, let's say 20 Biase women coming for childbirth, at least you pick at least 3 that have been circumcised or even more. So it's still done in Cross River State, and we need to, you know, rise up to the challenge and say, let our community leaders come into it.
Okay, they will definitely. I think we are going to be having the community leader talk about this in our next series. All right, the lines are open right here. I want you to call, ask questions. If you want to ask questions, you want to contribute to this very interesting topic for today. 0811-3333-611, 0811-3333-611. Go ahead, call us and tell us what you need to know. If you want to know anything, tell us exactly what you want to know on this topic of female genital mutilation or female genital cutting or circumcision, as the case may be. Okay, here I have Barrister Tony Adie, a legal practitioner, an assistant legal advisor, the PDP of Cross Rivers, the PDP in chapter of Cross River State. I want to say thank you very much for coming, Barrister Tony.
Thank you very much.
We've been looking for you. We've been waiting for you. Everybody want to hear your part of it. Okay, we're going to be taking the calls. We'll come back to you. All right. Good afternoon to you. All right. Keep the calls coming in. 0811-3333-611. Interesting topic. So you can actually ask and go ahead and ask a question if you do have a question to ask on this topic. Now, Barrister, I want you to go straight up. We don't have much time. So let's look at this legal implication. Already, you've heard much from Dr. Ani. She has given us an elaborate all stories about the FGM. What's the legal implication? We are going to be talking in steps, but let's start off with the first step. What's the legal implication of FGM?
Good afternoon, audience or listeners. Well, let me just go straight to the question you asked. There is a law in Nigeria. There is also a law that has been domesticated in Cross River State, that if one carries out the process of FGM on a female child, that such a person will be in prison for 5 years, or will pay a fine, or that person may have an option of either being in prison for 5 years or pay a fine of 5 years, or both.
Okay. Both, as it depends on the case.
Both as well. No, there is a fine which is 200,000.
Yes, which doctor has told us there's a fine.
200,000. That is, it is embedded in administration of Criminal Justice Act, which also has a violation against Persons Protection Act of 2015. That was also domesticated in Cross River State in 2016 by this very name.
Okay.
Also, so that anybody who commits such an act, you either be in prison for 5 years or you pay a fine of 200,000. So that is a legal implication.
But it has not been enforced.
What is the law? You know, the Nigerian law. Let me not even Nigerian law. The law itself is like I used to call it like a bulldog. The law sleeps. It is only when you wake it that is when it stands. So if maybe somebody has not been taken to court for committing that, does not mean the law does not exist.
Okay, now let's pick up this call. Hello.
Hello, good day.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Good day. Yeah, good day. Can you please turn down the volume of your radio set so we don't have the whole back we're having now?
I have done that, sir.
All right, go ahead. Ask your question if you do have one.
Okay, my name is Igre, calling from Calabar.
Okay, what's your name again?
Igre.
Idris, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to digress a little because I am looking at this thing as purely cultural practices that should not concern the government. There are a lot of issues that the government should look into, like when villages don't have roads. As I speak to you now, where I come from in Abi, people still pass through river banks to go to cities like Apafani, Abugo. There are no roads. So they should concern people who embezzle constituency development for the economic fund. What do they do to them?
Okay, Mr. Idris, just not to cut you off, all right, because of time, we would like you to actually talk about FGM at the moment. We will talk about that some other time, but at the moment, we need to talk about this.
I'm looking at it purely as a cultural practice that concerns the people. They should allow them do what is best for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. He feels that they should be allowed. That is a cultural practice. They should continue and probably allow the people to do that. Now, let me come to you. I will come to you, Barrister Tony. Now, Madam, there have been lots of rumors on the different equipments and implements and machines used in actually doing this thing, this brutal act, I would say. Now, can you give us most of this?
You only ask the person who does. Female genital is not a medical procedure. So if you ask me of the equipment for a medical procedure, I would readily let you know them.
Okay.
But from what we've heard, it ranges from sharp knives to scissors to piercing needles. I've not seen it being done, so I really cannot say what equipment I use.
But Tony, you want to add to this? I know this one is a legal crime to use most of those, maybe even deadly equipment, deadly arms.
Like razor blade, blonde ones, and the issue is that, just like I was trying to tell you people, before now, that was until 1994, before Nigeria became a member of this World Health Assembly. For the ratification, just like the brother who just made a comment, you could carry out any activities, but right now there is a law. Like I told people, the law I cited now, there is a law. It has also been domesticated in almost all the states in Nigeria. So when you're talking about carrying out the activities right in the village or rural area or whatever, the law sleeps when it has not been struck. But when it has been brought to the bear of the people, I mean the people who are to enforce it, there is nothing like whether we are using blonde blade or whatever. It was believed. So now, as it is right now, you discover that FGM, the way the law looks at it, it is harsh. It's even encourages transmission. I'm using the word encourages in quote, transmission of all these STDs and all this whatever. You are a medical practitioner, you understand what I'm saying? Especially the use of blade we just mentioned here. At times they are conducting this thing on a particular woman. Like what is happening, like what we saw some days ago in a video clip in I think that was in Dibonchi and in Somalia. They kept about 15 girls conducting the same
act with the same blade.
So I think the World Health Organization wasn't wrong when Nigeria now ratified to its treaty. I mean its convention around 1994, which we got this, which was part of this Administration of Criminal Justice that was embedded in Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which also Cross River State adopted in 2016. So as it stands right now, nobody will say in Cross River State that it is a practice of the people. If you fall into it and the law gets you, you go for it because there is a law.
There is a particular lady who precisely talked about Abbey local government area, and she said something in Abbey. Before you actually come out to get married, you'll be kept inside a hut which is built inside a room. A hut is built inside a room. A lot of activities go in there. Sometimes your parents don't even have access to you in there. It's called a fatting room. Yes. Now before you come out, a lot of things, this practice will be done, including cutting. Now she said it happened to her that at a point when it was her time, she told them, don't touch me. If you want money, I'll give to you, but take the money, but don't cut anything from me. Yeah. That everybody that has gone through that in her family have not been able to have a child. And then she now discovered that if that is done to her, maybe she probably wouldn't have been able to have a child because her elder sisters don't have children. So now, if she was able to actually pay for it, that means this can be stopped and nothing will happen to the tradition.
I don't really know. Incidentally, I'm also from Abbey, and I married, and I didn't enter any hut. So it would have been nice if she told us exact village or exact local government, because these things are done. They're like hidden practices. They don't come into the open anymore because the people perpetrating these acts, they watch TV, they are on Google, they know that there's a law against it and nobody wants to be caught. So when we're going out for those interviews, if it's possible for those people to be anonymous and then let's know where the local government, where it's practicing. I believe a lot in advocacy. If we speak to the community leaders, to the women group, they know the traditional circumcisers, and most of the time traditional people who carry out this act are the same people that go to help women deliver. They're also the traditional birth attendants. That's why we're happy with what the First Lady is doing, and primary healthcare development engine, educating the traditional birth attendants to stick to how do I put it, to stick to useful practices that will help the women, especially in hard to reach regions within Cross River State. Now FGM has no health benefit at all, none. It can only result in either immediate disease or immediate pain or long-term complications like you mentioned.
Any death case?
Yes, why not? Sometimes people have difficult. So if a child or a girl child that has problems with blood clotting and they go cut that child, the child may bleed to death. And then the child, there are lots of complications. The immediate complication is pain. The genital area will be swollen for days, and then the child will be in pain. And then sometimes they cut off the part that the child urinates through. So the child now has problems with urination, urinary tract infection, ascending infection, kidney shutdown, the child will down die. Sometimes it results in infection that are sent into the ovaries and the uterus, and the people will not be able to give birth to children. Like you see, most of those places where it's being done, it's the same knife that is used. So there's transfer of infection, HIV/AIDS, hepatitis B, and there's a lot. You can go on.
Well, doctor, I'd love to, but we don't have time. I'd love to just get to talk about this.
Please, for the purpose of emphasis. There could be some persons there who don't know where to go when this crime is committed. Please, you could make your application, or you go to the office of the public defender, or you go to the office of the attorney general. All those offices can help you. Good. But for the purpose of also emphasis, I just want to read briefly this section so that for those who don't know, there is a law. The law says that's Violence Against Persons Prohibitions Act. That's section 6. A person who performs female circumcision or genital mutilation or engages another to carry out such circumcision or mutilation commit an offense and is liable on conviction. Listen, on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 4 years. And it even went subsection 4 still went as rising, even those who incite, who are bet. So even the woman in the village who assists another girl now to come, you are also liable to all this. So for the purpose of emphasis, there is a law.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Barrister Tony Adinye. He's a legal practitioner and, of course, a political advisor of the PDP. I love to say that assistant legal advisor on this on PDP Cross River State. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
And also, I want to say thank you very much, Dr. Nchewi Elemi Ani, consultant radiologist from the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, Calabar. And also, she is the president of the Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Cross River State Chapter. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
I will have you again. Please do not turn down my calls. This conversation has only begun. We have 2 more series to go. Please, next Thursday, we will be having it again. I beg of you.
Is that blackmail?
It's not. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We sincerely apologize. We can't take more. Your calls are coming in. Your text messages, we will treat them next week, Thursday. All right. I am Prince Alobi saying, remember, let the girls have their right. All right. And do have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
My country people.
Nigeria na him be oga for the wahala of court of punani for the world wey oyinbo man dey call female genital mutilation FGM. Mama pale plus everybody dem. Make I tell una say if you dey do this kind bad thing, na im be say una dey trespass on top our girl pikin plus women dem right to. This kind bad thing sef dey make women no dey fit born pikin, dey make omoyan no dey sweet for dem. Even sef fit cause make woman kpai. Make una no forget say na ogbonge lie say woman pikin wey dem no cut her punani go dey follow man up and down. And make una remember say woman wey wan follow man go dey follow am wella. Country people, time don reach o wey dis kind yamayama thing must stop. Oya, make we gather and join body come pursue dis kind thing comot for we area patapata. Make we see say our girls and women dey safe papampa for dis court wey oyinbo man dey call female genital mutilation. Unto say injury to one woman na injury to we society o. This message na from Onelife Initiative for Human Development.